Good morning, and it is an absolutely gorgeous, beautiful day. Blue sky, birds are tweeting. Yeah, really lovely sort of spring day. So what I'm doing today, I am returning to Booby Fellatio's lockdown diary, and our eponymous, or the eponymous heroine, dear Lady Berengaria, just to set the scene a bit for those who haven't watched any of my videos before. I was a teacher for many years. I'm now a full-time published writer with 11 books to my name, one of which is Booby Fellatio's Lockdown Diary. She is an invented character. She is a woman of a certain age who has a bit of a penchant for younger men, nothing like me. And in this one, as I say, Booby gets stuck. So talk amongst yourselves while I just get the right pitch, as it were. Dearly beloveds, a prostrated Booby here, reduced to a limp rag after a most trying afternoon. My dears, I came within a capillary of blushing, something I have not done, sex flush apart, since my early teens. Rude interruption from my tactless nemesis, nursemaid Helga. I dictate, she scribes, which is as it should be. Bleating on about hot flushes and other menopause-related nasties, which, and I want to make this abundantly clear, I am nowhere near old enough to experience. Just because she is going through the most alarming and protracted change of life I have ever experienced, since great aunt Pandora ran naked through Whipsnade Zoo, quoting Goethe loudly in Swahili and crunching a packet of sherbet pips, doesn't mean she can tar me with the same ghastly brush. Really, now my train of thought has gone down a track not yet completed. Ah, yes, of course, blushing. It all stems from the undeniable fact that I am much in demand socially, as well as from those who flock to my life's mission and oft confused as a result. Helga's minuscule writing on the calendar certainly doesn't help matters, nor does her irritating habit of changing the names of my amours willy-nilly. As a result of this inexcusable inefficiency, I double booked, or rather Helga did, and having invited the vicar and his wife for afternoon tea, she is my godmother, and I felt I ought to get the annual homily out of the way, promptly forgot and penciled in Kevin, a rustic Irish youth who is becoming a bit of a Mellors to my Lady Chatterley, though I draw the line at having honeysuckle plaited through my basement thatching. Obviously, with social distancing and all that grim business, I was to receive Godmother Honoria, her buck-toothed husband Percival, in the garden, and accordingly got Helga to set out the chairs, table, best china, napkins, and other essentials in plenty of time for what I thought was a 4 p.m. engagement, while I sloped off for what Percival would no doubt see as a spot of sinning. Kevin, who is as keen on ploughing a furrow outside as I am, has latterly taken a shine to a large cane garden chair, which belonged in the nursery when I was young and has suffered somewhat in the intervening years, the ancient cushions being as bristly as a porcupine and some of the struts clearly but one woodworm attack away from sawdust. This decrepit leviathan of a seat has been in the shed for donkey's years, and Kevin obligingly heaves it out into our little trysting spot, a sheltered area near the sundial, each time he visits. The weather being exceptionally clement, and all thoughts of ecclesiastical godparents forgotten, Kevin and I abandoned ourselves to the exquisite lists of lust, and after a satisfyingly brisk canter upon his lance, I was sated for the nonce, and lying upon the dear lad's hirsute pectoral area, when, to my horror, trilling voices and the clatter of cutlery disturbed the afternoon's post-coital peace. Kevin's ejaculated, "Jesus Christ!" didn't exactly help matters. Fortunately, we were both dressed, other than open zip and fuchsia bush-flung panties, and could have pretended he was just helping me mend the chair, had it not been for three things. As godmother Honoria hove into view, warbling, Berengaria, dearest, I realised that the springs had finally given up the ghost. The shock had caused Kevin's battering ram to lock inside my keep. And worst of all, that we were both immovably wedged and being attacked on all sides by ancient cushion fragments. With a frisson of horror, I watched the Reverend Percival, who is as blind as a cave crayfish, trip over an inconveniently placed molehill, little buggers get everywhere, and fetch his not inconsiderable length against the tea table, bestrewing scones, cream, jam, and divers biscuits all over the lawn, and shattering much of the rather fine spode tea set, family heirloom. Bless him, he then realised that his Christian duty lay in trying to prize his godchild by marriage out of her predicament, and had he but known it, one of her main squeezes out of the old love tunnel. Blinking amiably and crunching shards of irreplaceable china underfoot, he said, "Do you need a hand, my dear?" The resulting half hour was like something straight out of Winnie the Pooh, the bit where Pooh gets stuck and all Rabbit's friends and relations come to the rescue, with much heaving and hoeing and grunting and groaning. The neighbours must have thought I was having a very kinky vicar and tart-based foursome. We were flung out by an exceptionally vicious coiled wire in the end, and Kevin slunk off, muttering what sounded to me like a Hail Mary. Never knew he batted for the other ecumenical side. Percival chose to believe my tale of dropping an earring down the back of the chair, Kevin, the handyman, helping me, and us both being gratuitously assaulted by an aggressive cushion. Helga, and I say this reluctantly, for she is not in my good books, suddenly came into her own regarding replenishment of supplies, whisking out the second best tea service, and general smoothing over. I will confess, however, that during the melee described above, the faintest second cousin, once removed, to a blush threatened briefly to stain my face. I may have to retire from society for the foreseeable. So there you have it, dear old Booby. What a great character she is. I'm really quite proud of her. Okay, end stream. Bye.